You can always also do profit sharing agreements that go with the joint venture, right? So the joint venture / profit sharing agreement that you would write would say, for example, when we get paid from this big client for this big project we're doing, this is how the payment is going to happen. Is it going to be, split equally? Is it going to be the person with the contact gets more, the person who gives the money gets more? What is that percentage going to be, right? So it becomes very, very, very important because, as I've been saying since we started the show, things are great when you're negotiating, but when money actually gets involved, that's usually when things, get a little bit testy. So you want to make sure that you've contemplated a good joint venture agreement, a good joint venture and profit sharing agreement. Then also you have to figure out whether you're going to have net versus gross. Now, what I mean by that, and the reason I have it in my little bullet points, is because this is the issue that I see that is most contested with joint ventures, net versus gross. Meaning, when you get that money from that big client, is it going to be split on a net basis or gross basis? Meaning, net means when money comes in, you pay all your expenses first, and then you split what's left. Gross means you get the money and you split whatever comes in.
I think it's smarter to pay out your expenses first, because then if you pay everybody else before your expenses, then you're probably more than likely going to be leave with a significantly lower amount of money in terms of profit.
It just depends on what the project is.
So
I've seen situations in joint ventures where the joint venture parties get paid. They decide to do gross, meaning that whatever money came in, they just split it equally. And now there's expenses to be paid, and no one wants to pay out of their share.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, what does your joint venture agreement say? And of course, the joint venture agreement says gross. And then I think, well, okay, you guys have to figure out how to pay these people who have worked for you, or these people who have provided a certain service. You have to figure out how you're going to pay your expenses, and I guess for me, the fair thing would be to take equally from both parts. But then you get into a situation. I had one client that was saying, but I did most of the work. Why do I have to pay it? I deserve all this money that I'm getting. And I go, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is why it should have been clear in the agreement.
Yes.
And then we have to end up being in a negotiated, contested sort of space where we have to figure out, okay, let's see if he'll pay 10% more to be able to compensate you for the work that you did. And then we get into that negotiation space. So it's not a one size fits all. It's not, well, just always do net because it's safer. I wouldn't recommend that. I would say, look at what the deal is. And then you figure out.
The content on Mind in Your Business is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be construed as specific legal advice. This show discusses general legal issues affecting business owners. Opinions of the guests are not necessarily that of the show. If you need assistance with your specific legal issue, please consult with a licensed attorney.